So welcome everybody. Excited. I think this is like the 6th how-to series that I've done so far. It was just a little brainstorm that I had a while back. And what I try and do is bring value to everybody and something that somebody is generating business from, and they've gone deep into it. They're utilizing it consistently. They may have an SOP around it, and just share it with everybody. We've had anywhere from seller seminars to Facebook Marketplace, so lots of things. And I was just telling Nick, coming in the new year, in January, I have Colton Whitney coming on to talk about how he built his team and how he retains his people, because he has a really good culture. And then in February, I have a guy named Alex Shakoff coming on, and nobody knows him in the industry unless you're following Follow Up Boss community. And he is an amazing guy. I've spoken to him many times, and he's going to tell you guys how not to become spammers with your email and how to keep your email clean. So that one, I think everybody needs to be on. So today, though, we have special guests, Jimmy Mackin from ListingLeads.com and Nik Shewmaker from Nashville, real estate agent. And when I asked Jimmy, hey, I want to bring you on and somebody who's utilizing your product, and he just threw out Nik. And I'm like, cool, excellent. So,
so sure thing, Nik.
So how many of you, raise of hands, have heard of ListingLeads.com? And so some of you have not. Okay, well, there's a few. So first, I'm going to start with you, Jimmy. You are the founder of ListingLeads.com. Tell us briefly, like, what caused you to go deep into that and actually create a product out of it?
Yeah, well, first off, Yvonne, it's great to be here, and thanks for having Nik and I. You know, one of the things that I see in real estate right now is oftentimes agents get caught into the vicious cycle of when they're not busy, they spend all their time marketing and prospecting, but as soon as they get busy, they stop doing the thing that filled their pipeline, and their production goes up and down, up and down. And I think all of us have experienced that. And when you dig a little bit deeper to understand sort of the second order effect of why that's the case, oftentimes I find that the time and energy and effort required to market your business to prospect is so daunting and so overwhelming to so many agents that we felt like that we as a professional marketing company could come in there and really be a cheat code for agents. Nik, affectionately known as Nashville Nik, is a really busy, successful agent. She does not have time to be going online and searching for the best ideas. She doesn't have time to be writing her own scripts. She's like, just tell me what to do, and I'll go out there and do it. And it keeps you in this sort of like hunting and prospecting and marketing mode, even when you are really, really busy. So the inspiration behind this, Yvonne, was like, we want to eliminate all of the guesswork and remove all of the friction involved in creating great marketing campaigns that drive results for people. And that's why we started it. And just to give a little bit of context, the seed of this business was a program that me and Tom Ferry partnered on called 100K in 100 days. And this is and I know you know this very well, Yvonne, but this was the largest listing attraction experiment in history. It was 2,300 agents. We got 15,000 appointments in 100 days. We closed $7.5 billion in production. And so that experiment was really sort of the beginning seed of, okay, we can do this for a lot of people at scale. And that's really what has driven our success. And it has been, as you know, Yvonne, I've started several companies in this space to varying degrees of success. This has been the fastest growing company that I have ever started by a mile. And for us, we're just proud of the fact that we are delivering tons of value to our members, and we're listening. As you know, Yvonne, we just added search to the back end of our platform. We are listening to our members, so we're getting better. So that's a little bit of the background and context.
No, that's great. And what I was attracted to right out of the gate was its simplicity. Because everybody overcomplicates everything they give a real estate agent to use. And the simplicity in it is so sweet that it's not hard to figure out, copy and paste, or go open a Canva and put it in there, right? So with that being said, in that 100K in 100 days, the numbers you gave were the numbers that were actually tracked. I'm sure it was bigger than that because some lack of tracking that went on there. So, but people were
Sure.
still participating. So it was really an interesting test case out there. I have a question though. How are you able to come up with this content so much, so often?
Yeah. Yeah. It's your inputs dictate your output in anything in business. And so the way that I think about this is first and foremost, the content in which I consume and the inspiration I seek really drives my creative process. And so right now internally, we've built tools where we track hundreds of the best creators on YouTube and now Instagram, which we're adding in December, which is it feeds us ideas and tactics that are working. And so we pay very close attention to videos that are going viral. Instagram posts and reels are getting really positive responses. But I've been doing this in this industry for 15 years. And as a professional marketer, one of the things that you have to do is realize that ultimately, if you really get in the mind of the consumer and you ask the question, what is the consumer thinking? What is the consumer feeling? What is the consumer getting from other agents? And is that actually helping them become more informed and making a decision? You realize that a lot of the real estate marketing that we put out there, it doesn't work because it doesn't resonate with the consumer. It doesn't speak to the consumer. And so we pride ourselves in looking at all different brands inside and outside of real estate to get inspired. But we also pay very close attention to what's happening in the news and what's happening in the real estate industry, both in the US and Canada. And I'll give you a great example of this. We just created a campaign recently where it was a study that I read from Zillow. And in the study, they said that 68% of sellers made at least 2 home improvements before listing their property. So we thought to ourselves, well, why don't we create an email campaign that basically says, hey, we're going to put together a list of the highest ROI improvements you can make to your home. Would it be helpful if we sent it over to you? And sure enough, our members started sending it out and started getting people saying, yes, absolutely. I'm thinking about selling my house this spring. So, we always think about what's on the mind of the consumer. We seek inspiration outside the real estate industry. But it's a creative process and it's fun. I mean, marketing should be fun. It should be exciting. It shouldn't just all be automated and buy now, sell now, or, date the rate, marry the house. Like we can do better as an industry, and that's our goal.
So it's so funny you say that because the difference between a marketer and a real estate agent. Marketing to me is not fun. It's not fun at all. I don't like any part of it. So let's be honest, right? It's why
Sure.
It's why I'm like, okay, I love the fact that I know I have to do it and it needs to get out there to the world and I have to communicate to the consumer. But does anybody on this call actually have the time to do what Jimmy just said? To actually curate, go out, pay attention to everything at the same time as sell houses? Probably not, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
we solved a problem is what happened. So Listing Leads solved a problem for the realtor. It solved a problem that you don't have to be a marketing guru. You don't have to read the 21 laws of marketing and know everything about everything to be, down on Fifth Avenue in New York marketing. It's not what we do.
Yeah.
The houses in Corona, California. Okay.
Yeah. So let me just start real quickly. One of the things that we do is you'll see here on the left-hand side, we have kind of our library, the best ads, videos, text scripts, direct mail campaigns, email campaigns, and social shareables. So these are our like marketing libraries where we hand select, what we think are advertising campaigns, video campaigns, all real estate specific that are that we see as inspiration. In fact, one of our members, Jason Flynn, just posted on our mastermind group like an hour ago. He just took one of these ads that we featured, and he ran a cash offer ad, and within a few hours, he's already got a cash offer lead. Now, we know from our friends over at Fello that about 20 to 25% of all cash offer leads transact within the first 12 months. So we're looking at, we create this ad library for the purposes of running great advertising campaigns. We have our video library, which is the best YouTube videos in real estate. We have hundreds in here, and we're adding, about a dozen or so every single week. So like these are viral videos. These are videos that did exceptionally well. And this is not just from like the Ryan Serhans, Yvonne, of like, really big creators. We have lots of small creators, people who have maybe 1,000 followers on YouTube who get a video gets 25,000 views. We're going to feature videos like that as well. We have phone and text scripts because we have certain types of agents who like, they just say, Jimmy, I want to call and text. I don't want to shoot a video. I don't want to post on social media. I got a great SOI. I'm going to focus on that. And I'll give you an example of one. And by the way, you guys have probably about today or maybe early next week to send this script. This is the script that we wrote last week, which was designed to say a lot of people who are holding off on the election or holding off on the real estate plans because of the election, why don't we create a very simple text script that they can send? And so we've been getting such positive feedback on this, people booking appointments just by sending this simple text message to their SOI or people in their database. So we have our phone scripts, we have our videos, we have our direct mail templates, we have our email campaigns, we have our social shareables. Now, to make it really simple, we just put it into a plan for you each week. And so this is where like all of that inspiration, which you can come in here and you can search if like, I want to search a campaign, I can search that campaign. But for our members, we're saying, hey, they wake up on Monday morning. Why don't we just tell them exactly what we recommend they do? So each day we have a marketing or sales strategy that we want them to implement. So Monday is almost always going to be deal of the week, which is a great strategy. Tuesday will be a text of the week. Wednesday be email of the week. Thursday's a video of the week. And usually on Friday, we'll do something in social media. And so our hope is, and Nik could speak to this more than I can because this is from my perspective, but our hope is that our members don't have to think anymore. They log into ListingLeads, they just follow the plan. And if they have a campaign they want to run, we have this incredible library that's available for their disposal to get inspired so they don't have to try to find the stuff on their own. So that's really our vision, Yvonne, behind this.
Do they stay there historically, or do they go away and you put another weekend?
No, we keep all the plans. They're all available. So going back now, at this point, I think we implemented we're still a baby of a company. We're about to break 3,000 members and we've been around for about 7.5 months. And so we implemented the plan based on feedback. So we used to do this a monthly drop. And people are like, can you just do it weekly? I can't plan a month in advance. So we got that feedback. So we implemented monthly. So we go back, I think, up until July, maybe June or July, we started going to weekly.
So one of the things that I thought was cool recently, I was speaking to one of my coaching clients, and I have been on this kick with everybody is you build the plan in October and November, and you better go deep on your SOPs for the top 4 lead sources that you chose to get your business in the next year, right? And so she was hemming and hawing and dragging her feet. And I said, listen, it's not optional. It's non-negotiable. Just do it. And she's a techie too. So she comes back to the call this week and she's like, I am so excited. I basically am taking most of the ListingLeads stuff and I built out action plans inside my CRM, and she's built them out for the first quarter already. So these texts and these emails and things like that are going to just automatically go out, and she's just taken your stuff and built it. So
I love
that's
that.
the automation of it and all of that. Nik, hi there, Nik. Hi. So we were chatting and we were going back and forth on email, and I'm like, do you have any SOPs? Do you have any of this? And you're like, no, I just do it every day. And I'm like, okay, I need to get more out of Nik on how she is actually doing this. Cause I know you're a high performing agent, you've got a team, and you're doing real estate. You have all kinds of things going on. So tell me from your perspective, what your habits are. What are your processes?
Yeah. So thanks for having me, guys. It's so exciting. So I've been in business 16 years, and I always tell people I've probably seen it, probably talked to the company, probably tried every shiny penny that's, sent to us in this industry. I was one of those guilty agents where somebody could call me and say, we can sell you this program. And man, I was signing up in the very beginning for everything. And I'm sure you're like me, where it doesn't work, or it works for a little while. It's, it doesn't evolve with you. It doesn't fit your business anymore. And so I kind of dropped out of that for the longest time. And when I say I have a team, I call my team a SEAL team. It's my husband as my partner. And then I have a virtual assistant, and I have a one showing agent and a transaction coordinator. So essentially,
by the way, I call that the perfect team.
yeah, you listen, it's manageable. And I get myself in enough trouble, so I don't need to get other people in trouble. But I've always been searching for that one system or platform where it does everything. And I knew that that just didn't exist. And, you fail at finding something in that regard. And this past August, I was at Tom Ferry's Summit, which I go to every single year. It's a 3-day conference. And prior to that conference, there was a gal that posted a template, and I was not part of Listing Leads yet. And she had posted a template on our Tom Ferry Elite Forum, and she just simply said, I've got this great template. I've been sending out 20 per week. It's, you can manipulate it via Canva and make it your own. And essentially it was just a ZMA template that had a little blurb of information to the homeowner. It was, addressed to them specifically, had a photo of their home and a little generic sticky note that said, if you could sell for 10% more than this, would you consider selling? I sent out 20 that week. It was a cold farm. I had my title company just kind of pull a list of homeowners on a peninsula. It was just kind of just whatever. I just threw them out there. As I was sitting in the conference, I had 2 come list me calls. I've never had that to happen, ever.
Was that the mailer, the email, or the
mailer? Yeah, it was a mailer. I literally created those in 5 minutes, per homeowner.
And it literally gives you step by step, print out screenshot of your estimate. Okay. And then it tells you how to execute it step by step, how to mail it, what it looks like. And you said you sent out how many of these?
20. And I had 2 come list me calls.
And you had 2 come list me calls. And where did you send them to? Who did you send them to?
I had my title company literally print out the homeowners of this one peninsula. It was over 1,000 homes, essentially.
They were cold. They were not like your warm leads past sphere. They were just a farm area that you wanted to get a deal in.
It was no relationship whatsoever. And I don't know how else to sell somebody on something that works, but that was really good odds to me. So when I got back from Summit, that was, the end of August. September, my husband had received a kidney transplant first of the year, and we had a setback in September. And so for the month of September, I kind of laid off, and I was nursing, my husband back to health. And so I joined Listing Leads, but I had not utilized it. I didn't start utilizing it until the first week of October. And I call them my assignments. So when I emailed Jimmy, I said, hey, I did my assignment today. I'm sure he doesn't call them that, but whatever is on that calendar, that's literally what I'm doing. And it is, and I'll just kind of go into this. It is my prospecting now. It has completely taken place of everything else that I was doing, and has garnered the most amount of conversations and business that I've seen in my 16 years of business doing any platform or any type of lead generation. I have a Sierra website, and if you're familiar with like Boomtown or Real Geeks or anything like that, it's a very similar platform. And we run ads. It has, a drip system in it and all the things. And if we closed, 6 deals a year on that platform, we considered that fantastic, and it was just another pillar in our business. And what I have found is through these daily assignments, in just the 6 weeks that we've utilized Listing Leads, we have amped up and we've actually been able to get rid of the drip campaigns and completely cease that whole part of the platform and that, overlay into our platform, and only utilize the daily assignments with our sphere, our past clients, farm, and my Sierra database.
Are you seeing a higher open rate of emails that weren't seeing with the advertising in Sierra Interactive?
Well, I'll just give you, just to date, we've garnered 2 listings, 3 active looking buyers. out of 502 emails to our dead leads that were just sitting there, 502 emails garnered 76 conversations, 3 buyers, and we're still continuing with 2 farms. This is our 3rd mail out in 6 weeks, and we're still doing the 20 ZMAs per week within those farms. And we will probably close 5 clients in 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks. I mean, like, you just started this really religious.
And honestly, it's just the daily assignments. We really haven't even utilized the video portion of it yet. That we will do that first of the year. That is part of it. We've gone ahead and signed up for that as well.
So when you go to the week, November 18th to 22nd, you just go Monday, deal of the week. And you go find a deal of the week in your MLS or something you have as a pocket listing or something like that, and you stick it on here.
Yeah.
And then you send that out. And then Tuesday, if you say, so you said that you haven't started the video. So like over here on Thursday, it's I'm assuming this is a video. Record the video. So you haven't even started doing these.
Haven't even started it yet. But what we will do in place of that, or what I've done, is we have done listing of the week, and then we do deal of the week as well. And you can go back on the calendar and find, and we've implemented that now as our weekly business. In other words, regardless of what's on the assignment list, we still do those, like we do the 20 ZMAs still in our farm. It's not part of my assignments. It's something we're doing that we've integrated into our business now, that we've done in the past, that we know is working. So we're still sending out the 20 ZMAs, and we're still doing deal of the week and house of the week or home of the week, because those are 2 different things. And I will tell you that if you want to activate your past clients or your database and your sphere, start sending out that deal of the week. And it even says on there, you're probably not looking to make any type of real estate decisions in 2025, but perhaps you know somebody that might want to see this. We've had 4 of our past clients send that to someone that they know that was looking and connect us. So again, it's just utilizing and I don't even deviate from the verbiage. I look at some of it.
I agree. Why would you try and recreate the wheel? It's already there. Right. Marketing people have actually done it. So not some other realtor that you want to reword something. Now there's a question from Sue at Lydia Gable's office. When you mail the ZMAs, are you targeting likely to sells or just methodically working through the farm street by street? So
we created 2 farms, and we are sending those out to those farms. So they're going to hear from us twice a month. And then 20 people are also going to be continuing to get, the ZMA letter. Now we've planned on our 4th month that we will then circle dial and start introducing ourselves via voice, and start communicating. Because at that time, they've probably heard from us 6 times. So now we're going to start building the relationship at that point.
So this leads to the spam conversation that you and I had. So that's why you're getting marked as spam, because you're sending cold emails without having any personal introduction first.
Now that was before I started using ListingLeads, and I would just go through MailChimp and send out just random emails, and I would get marked. I have yet to be marked as spam. I have yet to be asked to be removed from anything. People are communicating, they're interested, and what we're sending out is valuable.
Yep.
So that's all
right
different.
There.
Yeah, it's just not some random newsletter or some content I found via NAR or something Zillow put out that I thought was interesting, that I thought people cared about. This is actually stuff that is tried and true, and that Jimmy and his crew have actually seen is working with other agents. So they're not just throwing together content. This is stuff that they're seeing is working and garnering business. And these agents are getting 20,000 hits, or they're getting 7 deals off of this one letter, or whatever it is. They've got the statistics behind it to prove this works. Don't change it. Leave it how it is and send it.
So Lydia, and that's not Sue at Lydia, that's Lydia, right? Is that Lydia on the call? Hey, Lydia. So to your point, Lydia, so what I think and where my head goes with this is that you could probably really level up the game and get more conversion and more raising of hands if you were to take what Nik's doing and actually use it in targeting more methodically to likely to sells and things like that. Which if you're using something like Smart Alto or Revaluate or something like that, you're going to be able to target those. I have a client right now in Washington that added Revaluate to Follow Up Boss and basically sent out 100 mailers to everybody that ranked 86 or higher in the Revaluate scoring. So now you're getting more of a condensed group, and that was out of like 2,000 people. So yeah, so you could totally manipulate it that way and go a little deeper and use the same content. It'd be really good.
Yeah.
Kathy Yanda says, Nik, are you sending out the emails through your CRM or through MailChimp?
So I do have my VA utilize some of the templates, and we do use MailChimp, but that's to my agent to agent database, some type of value proposition for them. Hey, this is what we're using. And then I send them the link to ListingLeads to find out more. And then we do utilize our Sierra platform to send out mass emails. But yeah, Sierra is essentially our CRM.
So the emails will go out through there because you're sending out the normal limit that you can. And if you're going to go and do a bulk and set it up, it'll go through MailChimp.
Now, my past clients that get the home of the week or the deal of the week, I physically email them from my email.
Yeah.
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 Very good. Jimmy, Frances Rosado, congratulations, Frances. She just signed up this week. And she has a client pie appreciation pickup event Tuesday, wondering, should I hand out something to each client? I was thinking of giving each their estimates and ask their thoughts. Interesting. So you're in person pie handout.
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, I'm going to come right back to Frances's question. I'm just incredibly proud of Nik and the fact that she got a lot going on in her life, and the fact that I'm glad her husband is doing better and on recovery now. And I think this is sort of the story of the agents that I know and love in this industry. I think our industry gets a bad rap for a bunch of reasons, but the people that I meet are true warriors and are true entrepreneurs and work incredibly hard. And I think Nik really exemplifies all of those qualities. And to see her success in such short time is something I'm very proud of and very grateful that she's part of the community. So thank you, Nik. And I cannot wait for you to implement video, because you will absolutely slay with video. I mean, like, and whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, because just more broadly speaking, there is this idea that when I think about marketing, and I'll come back to Frances's question in a second, but when I think about marketing, the reason that we do mailing, texting, emailing, social, video is because you have to be able to interact with customers through multiple channels. You can't, there's no, I wish we could build a solution where like it's one channel, that's all you do, you get results. But that's not how marketing works. That's not how the consumer buys. And so marketing, if you're batting 30%, you're in the Marketing Hall of Fame. You often have to try a lot of different things to kind of get some results. And so we think about marketing in three categories. Number one, attraction. How do we build our audience? How do we get in front of more people? And this is usually through social media and through video. The second is engagement. Okay, we got to build an audience. This is people in our email list, people who follow us on social media. How do we make sure we're in front of them with something of value consistently? The patron saint of advertising, David Ogilvy, said, you're not advertising to a standing audience, you're advertising to a marching band. People are always kind of coming in and out of real estate. And the third thing that we think about is conversion. And we think about conversion not in the sense of trying to convince someone to buy. Rather, we're just trying to have our members have more conversations. And as Nik pointed out, if we can get you talking, get you in front of people, get them raising their hands, so you're not chasing them 24/7, you'll be so much more efficient at what you do, and you'll have a lot more conversations and book a lot more appointments. And that's really the inspiration behind it. So coming back to Francis' question, it's interesting. I think
I don't know if I would combine the pie giveaway with the Zestimate.
Yeah, like the challenge is that like if I'm playing the long game, Francis, okay? If I'm playing the long game, I'm just giving a pie away. I'm just like that. That's a little bit of like that pixie dust, right? That you sprinkle on, and because they're going to remember you in that context. Now, would I follow up post, Thanksgiving as an example? And let me actually I'll give you a very specific script here, Francis. If I can take over control of the screen again, Yvonne, this will be really helpful. I want to show something here. There is a very specific script that I would send out, and I'll give you. We're gonna be dropping an update to this one here, but let me go ahead and grab it real quick for you. So after I sent out the pie, I might the next week text or email my clients this simple like message. And I might personalize this a little bit. I might say, hey, Yvonne, so good seeing you last week. I'm reaching out because it's the time of the year in which I'm giving my clients an updated report on their home value. So I'm setting some time aside. Can I prepare one of these for your home? And like, so I would decouple the pie and I would use that pie as the reason, hey, it was so good seeing you last week, Yvonne. I'm setting some time aside this week to do my annual home value check-in with my clients. Can I prepare one for your home?
I would
Something
add
along those lines.
the subject line. I would say we want to give you more than just a pie.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
like
I
that.
hope you. Yeah. And now I won't include that in the script because I don't think anyone's really giving pies except a few agents. But like, yes, that's exactly the type of tweak you can certainly make to the idea. So, but this type of script, we call this the $100 million email because this email that we tend to send either at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, it just gets a wave of CMA requests. And what we know again with CMA requests is like, I think the numbers we saw recently were 18 to 20% of CMA requests. I'm not talking about home value requests, but really CMA requests, it's even a little bit higher than that. 18 to 20% of them transact within 12 months. So if I send that to 100 people in my SOI and I get 15 replies to that, there's going to be 4 to 5 transactions from this one email. So good question, decouple them, and then you could add a little bit of twist if you want to personalize that message.
Ben Cruz says, I separate the one-off listing lead emails from my MailChimp newsletter campaign to keep those unsubscribed down to a minimum and to keep those email addresses active in my CRM. Smart, Ben. That's a really smart way to do it. And are you using listing leads right now and sending things out?
Yes. It's using the text and the email scripts.
And you're doing that through your CRM?
Yes.
So
yeah, because
when you say one-off, are you doing the one-offs just you're randomly doing it like Nik is on a daily basis? Or are you taking any of this and putting it into your MailChimp as a mass?
no, I don't put any of it in my MailChimp. I have other emails that go out from there that are kind of newsletter based, 3 of them a week, and the unsubscribe is pretty low. But yeah, I've made that mistake before where if you don't send people stuff on a regular basis in your MailChimp account and then you suddenly start sending them things.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's a
bad.
disaster.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure Alex is going to reprimand us all for doing that on a regular basis in February. So, so very good.
One of the really interesting trends I've seen is we're seeing a lot more videos that have no face and AI voice and just B-roll do really, really well. And so, and the reason why this matters, like bringing it back to what I ultimately care about, which is making the cash register ring for our clients and our members, is when you have a reel, an Instagram reel that does well, it grows your following. And as your following grows, your audience grows. And so when you do a Instagram story that has a lead capture in it, you're just going to get a much higher response rate. And so you make these investments in audience building so that when you do a direct response campaign, like a ZMA campaign, like a hey, what's your home value campaign, you're going to get a much higher response rate than that. And so that's a big part of what we think about. And by the way, Sheila, I think you'll like this. In Q1, we're working with all the CRM partners, Sierra, Follow Up Boss, Lofty. We're going to do a one-click integration with them so that the listing lead templates will carry over. So we'll save your VA a little bit of time. We've been working on that behind the scenes.
That's great. Ben says, Jimmy, connecting the email campaigns with socials, YouTube, and website is something he needs to work on. People follow those links in emails. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's just like an observation, Ben. Saying like, hey, I got to work on connecting these things together more, or what's the question there?
Yeah, just making sure that you got, like, I'm putting together my marketing plan for this year, and getting links to social media, links to videos. I notice people follow as I go through my MailChimp account. I notice people will click on, the Facebook link at the bottom or the Instagram link at the bottom, but getting.
Ben, one thing that's really interesting is that you can use your email list to build your social media following, and your social media following to build your email list. So embedding a video is great, but notably, anytime you embed a video, it's going to likely just open in a new tab, and it will very rarely play in line the way that most ESPs work. So one thing I would be thinking about is this is where I think the PS really comes into play. Is if I were to say have a listing leads email, and let's say in addition to that, I just posted something on social media or I just recorded a video, I would say, PS, I just dropped a new video about XYZ. Be sure to check it out. It's already getting a great response. So I think you can leverage that PS section of the listing lead emails to promote some of the custom content or custom strategies you're implementing. And does anyone here actually, just by a show of hands, gets emails from me right now? You probably notice that I have a PS buy my stuff every time. So, and the vast majority of our sales through email come through that PS. So I would definitely be looking at leveraging that to promote social. But it's a really powerful thing promoting, if I do a video
or simple as like PS, follow me on Instagram.
Well, the thing I would say as it relates to that, Yvonne, is that tell me why I should follow you and what I'm going to get. So Ben, one angle might be, we have access to 3 off-market listings that are not on the MLS. Follow me on social media and send me a DM. I'll get you the details. So like what I'm saying is turn the volume up on that a little bit more. Give me an offer that's compelling. Give me a reason to click, because by default, we walk around kind of in automated mode as human beings. And so I've got to have a little bit of pattern interrupt there to get someone to act. Really fun about all of this for us, at least, and just being able, because we just launched a private mastermind group where we now have a bunch of members joining already in that, and we're engaging conversations, and we're seeing members take some of the inspiration and kind of add their own flavor behind it, and that's giving us inspiration. It's helping us think differently. Our vision behind this, Yvonne, going back to our mission, is we never want our clients to have to pay, these exuberant taxes on referral fees. And we do not want them to have to continue to rely so heavily on advertising. I love advertising. Advertising makes sense for businesses, but the cost of advertising keeps going up and the conversion ratio keeps going down. And so we are saying to ourselves, there has got to be an alternative. There's got to be a better way. You've got a farm, you've got a database, you got some followers. Let's see if we can build on that. And the great brands do that really well. But we live in an attention economy. You've got to be putting out content every single week without fail. If you do that really well, then there's magic behind it.
That's very good.
Can I add to that too, that I was even telling Jimmy, I honestly feel like this is cheating. And I said that to him just as a snarky comment. I honestly feel like this is cheating because I've never had one system that I've put in place. And by the way, outside of the ZMAs, I don't spend longer than 15 minutes per day on an assignment. It doesn't take me long to copy and paste or to create the social media Canva template to go into my stories or whatever that is. It is so easy, and for me, dummy proof, that it feels like cheating because I've never had one thing that I've implemented daily that has garnered all of the conversations and or business that is transacting or will transact ever in anything that I've ever done. And we've spent thousands of dollars on, platforms and lead generators and this, that, and the other thing, like any other agent has done. This has been the one thing, and I could literally delete probably 99, and we have deleted 99% of the things that we were utilizing before, and really are focusing on digging deep and using this as our quote unquote advertising and way that we are connecting with our past client sphere and of course our farms, and then building on that.
Yeah.
It's
So
so easy.
that's perfect, because that leads me to Nik. The question I have for you is, here's what my takeaways that I'm hearing both Nik and Jimmy say, but Nik, from the perspective of being the actual executor of the product, is simplicity of it is one takeaway. The fact that you are using a multi-channel to connect with people, and that you can utilize it in a short period of time and actually see a response, a result. Did I, for three basic
100%. Yes.
takeaways, did I miss
Yeah.
anything? So tell me what's one thing you would prioritize if now you know what you know about using it over the last couple of months, what would you prioritize?
For me, it's just literally going in and doing that daily assignment and then building around that. If you want to add to it, subtract to it, change it up, like you like Monday better on Wednesday or whatever that looks like. Because if we've mailed out to our farm, we're probably the next day, we're probably not going to send out that letter. We might make that an email, and so there are ways to kind of take whatever that assignment is and make it work for your business or for your client base or whatever that looks like. And just like Jimmy said, if you're not into video, utilize the email and text benefit of it, or get into your social media stories, your Facebook and your Instagram, whatever that looks like for whatever channels you're utilizing. And we are getting back into YouTube, hence the reason why we're going to be utilizing the video aspect of Listing Leads.
Yeah.
And obviously using that to create little stories and all the things, but utilizing just the assignments every single day has been what has proactively turned the needle in our business.
So
And
I am a huge proponent of, I've never in 30 years of being a real estate professional, we have never been into buying leads. We were always sweat equity instead of check equity. And so this is right in my sweet spot. I am a huge proponent of it because it is exactly what you said, Nik. It's simple, and utilize it every day. I love how you just call it a daily assignment, period. So simple, and keeps it that way. As well as YouTube is like the next thing that, we probably all should have been doing it 4 years ago, but it's not too late to get on the YouTube, because they're expecting, and Jimmy, you probably know what the stats are, a huge growth in the YouTube world. So that and podcasts. So, I would highly recommend, and all of that is sweat equity. It's all it is. I'll always revert back to Ken Pozek in regards to YouTube. When I said, how much do you spend to get the deals? Because I met him in April, and he had already done like 112 transactions that year, several years ago, from just YouTube. And he said, I spend zero money, and they're the warmest leads I've ever experienced, because they've already watched it for months. So you guys, these two things, if you do nothing else, you do more deals. It's just natural, right? So I love it. Jimmy, would you like to add anything else in there?
Well, Lydia sent me a question. One of the things, and just on the pricing side of things, I think we're wildly affordable. We charge $99 a month, or if you want the creator plan, which has video, it's $139 per month. But what I tell everybody is we have a free trial. You can sign up, check it out, use it. And if for whatever reason doesn't fit into your business, because you have all these other things going on, we totally understand. But we are committed as a company, by the way in which we're designing our company, to keep our costs and our prices as low as humanly possible. I've been in this industry for 15 years, and I've seen a dangerous trend right now where companies are just charging a fortune to real estate agents for every single little piece of software. You can't log into some of these softwares without getting upgrade this, upgrade that, upgrade this, and then by the time you're spending $800 for this little tiny piece of software to do something that's seemingly very simple. And so, and I don't blame the companies. It's the companies they have a lot of employees, they have a lot of staff, maybe they raised a bunch of money. And what I see though in our industry is that I see prices continuing to go up and I don't see the value following. And so
Yeah.
as an organization, it's definitely one of our principles that we are running a lean shop. We are going to be Costco's, okay? In a world where everyone else is selling these really expensive software products, we're saying we're going to keep our costs as low as possible, pass those savings on to our customers, keep their costs low, and then keep helping them make more money. And that is I'm really proud of that because that is a principle of ours that you're going to see. So yeah, we're going to these features that we're adding, the CRM integration, we're going to be rolling out some AI tools in it. We ain't charging any more money for that. We're keeping our costs low so we can pass on that savings to customers. And that to us is our strategy to serve this industry. So to Lydia's question, we have a free trial and we can drop a link if you want, Yvonne, to that.
Yeah,
check it out. And then, yeah, that's certainly our commitment.
Very good. I look at it because right now, of course, we're looking at everybody's financial situation for business planning and all of that. And bottom line, the cost is almost non-existent if you go back and look at what you're spending in your auto debits and cut out some things that you haven't used or don't need, and it's a no-brainer in that point. When you start getting into these products that are costing per seat and they want everybody on the team to be a user, you start getting really drained in the tech platform world. So you have to be very, very cautious around that. So yes, definitely drop it in the thing. There it is. There's the listingleads.com free trial. Grab it now. And I want to give a little plug to somebody on the call right now, Kathy Yanda from Chicago up there. She wrote a book. She is a veteran, a military veteran, and she does veterans in Chicago area. She wrote a book, an ebook about VA that I think every realtor should read, whether you have veterans and VAs in your market or not, because everybody does a VA loan at one point of their career. And it's a super easy, simple book. So drop that in the comments there. There it is. You can go to Amazon. It's Home Buyer Guide Mission, VA Home Buyer Guide Mission. Congratulations, Kathy. And Nik, thank you so much. And I'm glad your husband is doing well.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure meeting you on here and getting to know you. And Jimmy, of course, I've always said you're the smartest in the industry. So thank you so much, you guys, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. See you next month.
Thanks, everyone.